The crazy story of how my ex's mom gave me a panic attack when meeting her for the first time. This story is 100% true and happened to me, but since it was so long ago and I had my first and only panic attack, some of the timeline details are a little fuzzy, but I remember all the important stuff. Let me set the scene for you. The year is 2016. I was a college athlete and played on the women's basketball team. I met a man, let's call him M, who played on the men's basketball team. This man was an actual psychopath. I had to get a restraining order against him in the year 2019 because he was still stalking me, even though the last time I had even seen or spoken to him was in 2017, after I left that school for the summer. Anyway, we had been dating for about 2 months at this point and I was still unaware of how crazy he was, so things were still going well. Typically for home games, the women would play first and then the men would play after. M told me that his mom would be coming to this game to watch him play and she wants to meet me while she's there. Keep in mind, I had no idea what she looked like or anything at this point, just that she wanted to meet me after the game. So after my game was over, I got food with my team at concessions, which was right outside the gym. By the time I had gotten my food, all the tables were taken except for one where a few baseball guys were sitting. My school was really small and all the athletes shared the same athletic facility, so we all knew each other pretty well. I sat down at the table and ate my food while talking to the baseball guys. I finished up eating and headed into the gym to watch M play. When his game was over, he texted me that his mother was extremely upset with me and wanted to chat. I was really confused and asked him how that could even be possible. He said that his mom doesn't like her behavior and did not like what she saw me doing. I was so upset and still so confused, so I told him something along the lines of I didn't even do anything, that's literally insane. I'm just gonna go home, I don't want to meet her now, and I drove back to my house with my teammates. I was in my room crying while getting changed, because I still just didn't understand why she would say that when she hadn't even met me yet. I was literally topless, in my room with the door closed, when I heard my teammates yelling from outside the door. I couldn't make out what they were saying, but it sounded like a bunch of commotion, and then all of a sudden, the door to my room busts open and this woman is standing in my room. While I was still naked, I quickly turned around and tried putting a t-shirt on, when this woman started screaming at me, saying that it's disgusting for me to be flirting with other men while her son is about to play an important game for his career. I realized at that point that it was M's mom, and was standing there frozen while she screamed at me. My teammates were in my room too and were yelling at her to leave and that she shouldn't be there, and M was nowhere to be found. She was saying things like I didn't deserve her son, that I'm a whore, that I am unworthy of him, all this crazy shit, and I just stood there frozen, still not completely dressed. This is when my panic attack started to happen and I couldn't breathe, so I ran out of the house and just started walking down my road. This woman literally chased after me, saying if I wanted to be with her son, that I had to prove it to her that I'm worthy. I told her I'm not interested anymore and to just leave me alone, because I literally couldn't stop crying and I was having a panic attack. She finally left me alone and walked away, still yelling profanities at me. M ended up being really mad at me too, saying how embarrassing it was for him that his mom saw me being a whore. Keep in mind, I was literally just sitting at an open table that baseball guys happened to be sitting at and was talking to them for a max of 10 minutes before I went back into the gym. I tried breaking up with him multiple times after this incident, but he wouldn't accept it and started doing really crazy stuff. At the time, it was a really traumatic event for me and I wish I could go back and do it again and tell that crazy bitch to go fuck herself. It was seriously insane. Also, after I was able to leave the school and finally get away from him, his mother was sending me hate texts for weeks. I probably still have screenshots of those that I could share in another post, but yeah. I pray for whoever ends up with that insane man and his psychotic family.